Shout out to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. Today we are in the basement. While the air is clearing up, I want to remind you that I have an ebook, link in the description below, about how to buy cheap houses just like this one. I go into all the ways that I can possibly think of using houses that I have purchased as examples of how to locate inexpensive houses to purchase for renovation to live in, rent, or sell. Whatever it is you want to do, you can do it. It's not that hard. You just need to have a little bit of money and a lot of motivation. 7th grade science class, ladies and gentlemen. Close-up action. It's the moment we've all been waiting for. Feels like I'm trying to lift an engine out of the ground. An engine hoist, that would be helpful. It's still going to be hard to get this out of here once it's flopped up on this slab here. Alright, y'all place your bets. Let's see if I can push this thing over. I'm a lot stronger than I look. Excuse me. I very well can't just continue on as if nothing major just happened. We have lost the concrete stump. Or at least it's playing possum, I'm not sure. It could potentially make some sort of a return. But I now have the challenge of getting it out of here. If you can't tell, this thing is huge. There's my size 15 shoe beside it, so that'll give you an idea. This thing's probably the size of... It is the size of a large engine. It's humongous. It weighs a lot. I'm going to have to bust it up. There's nothing I can do about getting this out of here. I wouldn't be able to get this out here on a hand truck. I mean, maybe a really big one with a couple of guys on it, but I don't even think it would fit out the door right now. So, it needs to be busted up. This will get repaired with concrete poured into here. Then, of course, poured into this room. So that's the end of the line for the concrete block. She once stood proud for 1,000 years in this room, about 4 feet tall. For those of you who don't know, this was the base of a chimney. So now the ductwork runs up all the way into the attic, and it is dispersed to the rooms. So that was the base of the chimney, and if you know anything about foundations and footers and everything, that is not very deep. So it's basically probably just dug out about like this, and dug a shallow hole, dumped some concrete in it, poured a concrete footer up to a certain point, and then they probably just started going up with some sort of brick or block, and then at some point it was torn down. So that just goes to show you, everybody thinks everything has to be done flawlessly. That thing stood there for however long it stood there, done improperly to today's standards. Today's standards being the key words. Just because something's not done how it's going to be done tomorrow doesn't mean it's not going to be okay the next day. As far as the basement goes, the next step is to do a deep cleaning. I don't have to worry about the concrete slab, the block for now. It's over there. I'm going to get up some of these little pieces and sweep up this stuff, remove the last remaining bits, turn off the power from the disconnect outside, turn on my generator, get some lights going down here, my pressure washer, and I'm going to pressure wash all the walls. Why turn off the power? Because I'm going to spray this whole basement down with water, and I'll be standing in water. And it's a little scary for me to have the breaker panel here. I'd probably be okay, but I'm not going to do it since I have the generator, because I can just run an extension cord to right there or upstairs and have my pressure washer down here. That's on a GFIC, GFCI, whatever it is, breaker, and the house itself will be off. I'll just pressure wash the walls, knock off all this funky business, and then all that water will just start flowing out that way. It's just going to go on the dirt over here, it'll soak in, but I'm going to blast everything. I'm going to blast the steps. I'm going to just blast everything I can with water, and I've got some deck and sidings cleaner stuff in there too. So that's like mold and mildew. So this is a lot of funkiness down here. But this basement has a moisture problem because there's no gutters on the house. So all the water's just kind of dumping down, and it's just a damp basement. Once gutters are on the house, that is going to, I bet you, take care of 90% of it, except in extremely heavy rains. You'll probably get a little dampness down here. Now I'm thinking what I'll do is probably spray a coat of some sort of paint down here, and it won't last forever, but it'll just be a freshen up, just to kind of make it look better for now. Let me get set up. It's the next evening. Let's go take a look at the basement. Of course, it's not going to look all that much better just in looking at it, it still is rather crude, and of course I was blasting off stuff off the walls. But this got it to where it is not funky smelling in here right now. I used that cleaner, plus I dumped some multi-purpose cleaner in the pressure washer as well, and I was just squirting some stuff around it. So it's kind of deodorized the basement. I think a lot of it was just sort of that mildewy funkiness that was down here. This has a mold and mildew killer, so I'm hoping that just when I was spraying it and washing it off the walls, that was helping. And then I'm sure it was all just washing over here, but maybe kind of took care of that. But it's much fresher, which is nice. And then, of course, it prepped the walls to just be painted. Now, it's not going to be a perfect paint job. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm just looking to kind of just spray them out white just to brighten it up, clean it up a little bit, just to improve it a little bit. There's not a lot I can do about it down here as far as making it look really nice, but it's just not that kind of basement to start with. It is just the basement exists, but it's not a living space type basement. I could potentially paint the floor, but I probably won't. I'll just leave it the concrete in here. And then, of course, this is going to get poured. Knocked a lot of stuff off these. But by spraying all this stuff out, and I may just spray out the side of these and repaint the treads. Just trying to clean it up and give it a nice, nicer look. Slab, of course, will be poured in here. And then I don't have a light bulb in this room. So there's nothing much to see in here. I just need to get rid of a few things. And I'll probably, in the next video, do the painting and addressing some other things down here in the basement. But I think for now, this is as far as we're going with this basement video. Well, that is going to wrap things up for this video. Hope you all enjoyed the change of pace of moving on to a different type of a project, cleaning up the basement. Everything up until this point has been kind of consistent here lately, kind of doing the same thing in each room, getting it ready for the inspection. As far as inspections go, get a lot of questions about inspections, and then building departments, and then people commenting on stuff I'm doing and how it's going to fail, and then a lot of small things too about like where that wire came through the board in the last video and putting metal plates in. I have to go back and do a lot of those little small things. That's not to say don't comment on them. I'm just saying that not everything makes it into videos. And then occasionally there are things when people comment and go, yeah, I should do that. Or I'll forget about something and miss something, and people just see things in videos. So I welcome those comments, but a lot of stuff just gets kind of taken care of between videos, or I'll do them last minute before an inspection. As far as an inspection goes, I was asked to do a video of the inspection. I'm not going to be able to do that. That would be too weird. And I don't broadcast, well, I do broadcast it, but I don't broadcast in my personal life that I do YouTube stuff to like inspectors and tenants and all that kind of stuff. It's just something I do. It's just separate, started for fun, turned into something different than just doing it for fun. It's turned into a much bigger thing than I ever expected. And also get questions about building permits and the process of getting inspections. It's all going to be explained to you when you just go get a building permit. It's not a mystery or anything. There's nothing mysterious about it. Just call your local building department. You can call your city hall or your county, wherever you're at, and just say you'd like to inquire about building permits. They'll direct you to the right person, and then you can ask any question you want. The process is not complicated, and it's going to vary from one county to the next, much less translate to like a different state. So, how I do it and what's entailed does not apply to where you live. I guarantee that. It's going to be various, differences depending on where you're at. I think that's pretty much it. Do appreciate you all watching. Thank you very much. And check the links in the description. Other than that, I want to thank the sponsor of the video, Squarespace. So stay tuned for a quick word about them. Other than that, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Squarespace gives people a powerful and beautiful online platform from which to create your website. Be among the growing community of makers and creatives who choose Squarespace to express their creative visions. Squarespace has the tools you need to get your business off the ground, including e-commerce templates, inventory management, a simple checkout process, and secure payments. Whatever you sell, Squarespace has the merchandising features to make your products look their best online. Every design automatically includes a unique mobile experience that matches the overall style of your website, so your content will look great on every device, every time. If desired, you can disable the mobile view from your website manager. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/homemadehome to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thanks again to Squarespace for sponsoring this video.